Remember when you were young and everything in life seemed so much more fun and the possibilities seemed endless? Is that still the same for you, or has life become a serious business? Wherever you are, you can change it. What if more magic, fun, and possibilities were available to you right here, right now? Join Laura and Alun in the playground of possibility as they play, laugh, and explore new ways you can use to make your life more fun and to create more of what you desire.
Hello and welcome to our first show in 2015. I nearly said I am the lovely Laura Borland. I am the Laura Borland, and I'm here with my lovely playmate. Delicious Alun, as he's calling himself today.
I am delicious, and you are lovely. You are the lovely Laura Borland.
Oh, how did we get so lucky? So, so if you have never listened to our show before, just to tell you a little bit about...
Gonna burn in hell.
Yeah, why not is the question. Why not?
Yeah.
Yes, anyway. And so Alun and myself are both coaches, working with a variety of different people about a whole plethora of different things. And rather than take up time in the show telling you all about us, it's like if you go, you can find out more about Alun on his website, his lovely new website, which is alun-jones.com, or myself on lauraborland.com, or you can find us on Facebook at Life with Play. Is that correct?
Yes, indeed, awesome. It is, yeah. Facebook
cool.
/Life with Play, and our links for our websites are on that page as well, so that's cool.
Yeah. So welcome to today's show, everybody. It is a pre-record, so we won't be playing in the chat line, the chat room.
Whoopsie. Now we know what Laura's doing while she's on the radio.
Where does that come from?
Yeah, lusty Laura. Mm-hmm. Not mine.
No. So, tell us about today's show, Alun.
So today's show, New Year Bollocks. Is that what we called it? New Year Bollocks. So this is New Year, New You. Really? How many times have you made New Year's resolutions or New Year goals? And you've probably done that loads, right? So how many times have you actually kept them? Probably less. What have you, and when you didn't, how did you choose to feel from that? And when you tell other people, how do other people, you failed, so you didn't keep that up for long, didn't give up that for long. And so who was the first idea for resolutions anyway? I don't like that, I resolve. And what if every second is an opportunity to create something new, not just a new year? So here's the thing, do you do it from judgment or joy? The choice is yours. So, that for me, one of the biggest things about the whole New Year bollocks thing.
This is really interesting. Are you going to dive into some really big points of view here? Because I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, there is this. Yeah, my big points of view, my fixed points of view is, it's just this whole thing. Why do I have to frigging well wait for the end of the year to choose something different?
I know.
Who chose that to be the start of the... And, it's like, why do we have to limit it to a year? Why not choose for your... what it's like, for this year I'm going to choose this, and this. And I can only choose that on the 31st and the 1st of 31st December, 1st of January. It just really... I used to kind of get really hung up on the whole resolution thing, and I resolved to and all that bollocks and write them all down and keep them religiously for about 3 days and then beat myself up for not doing...
Well done.
Yeah. I give up chocolate. And it's just like... It's just so arbitrary. The 31st of December is when you choose the year ahead. And whilst I'm not saying you shouldn't celebrate your life, but celebrate every day. Celebrate your choices every day. Make a different choice every day. It's like, what am I choosing today that's working for me right now, that will create for me now and in the future?
And it's funny, there's something about New Year's resolution. I mean, I have to say, I did them for years, and like you, I don't know if I made any last for 3 days, but it's almost just like this idea that, you reflect in your life, and then you talk about all these kind of change that you're going to make, mostly from judgment, and then by, whatever time on the 1st, 2nd or 3rd of January, you've forgotten about them, and you've just kind of everything's just kind of gone back to normal, and it's it's really curious because, you know, how often do you hear someone in July saying, oh wow, I totally resolved to X, Y, or Z, and it's like it's so made a change in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I think
the thing that you just said that just literally jumped out at me there was, you know, we get to we review our past years, like review your past year, and then from that place choose what you want in the following year. It's like, why? That's like just using all of this past information to make a choice about what you choose in the future. What if you just absolutely deleted and let go of all of that, of everything? If you had no past life, if you had no history at all, if you had no history at all, what would you choose? If you had nothing to guide you from the past, what would you choose right now?
So for everybody who that feels like a total beyond or really scary,
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm just I'm really, really aware that actually it's like for many people it's like knowing what happened in the past and using it to be able to predict the future is actually what makes people safe, or it's what they have concluded makes people safe. Whereas that's a point of view. Not sure that I really like particularly buy that, but it's just this whole idea of like, you know, if you did have no past, and it's like, why do we always look to the past to create the future? And it's like, there's a wonderful thing where Henry Ford said, if I had asked people what they had wanted, they'd have said faster horses, and he created cars. And so, no, it's not about, you know, sometimes there's information that can be useful, but it's not about making it the only place that information can come from.
Absolutely right, and I think, you know, from my perspective, it's similar to a post that I put on Facebook this morning, which is about you can, you know, when we do this creative visualization, we use the kind of create from your imagination, but your imagination can only create from what it's already experienced.
Exactly.
You can't imagine beyond what you've already experienced. And so if you're doing this whole thing around creative visualization on what you like your life to be like in future, you're still using past references to dictate what's possible. And if you... Sorry, go.
No, I was going to say, but actually, that's what we're taught. That's what we're taught. And so actually to then kind of like get whatever age we are, to then kind of like begin to get the awareness that that's not how it has to be. It's almost like there's this really kind of like big blank canvas, which actually could be really scary, because it's just like, but you know, so much energy that so many people use is about trying to grasp and clutch certainty, and which is just such an illusion. But yeah, so to say kind of like a big blank open canvas, it's like, I mean, that's exciting for some people and terrifying for others.
Yeah, this is like, well, how do I know what to create if I don't know? Because it's like we look at it and go, well, what am I uncomfortable with now that I want to change?
Yeah.
If you didn't have any of that knowledge at all, if you had no awareness of, you know, not even awareness, but if you had, you know, if none of that existed, if someone just gave you a blank sheet of paper and said to you, I want you to create your life now, a lot of people just you know, kind of immediately going, oh my god, I don't know what to do. So it's like, and I know because I can feel the energy of that. So everything that is, can we just kind of let that go and just dissipate that? Because you know, it's just like, if you're willing, who would you be if you didn't create from your past?
Wow, and how many times do we create our past? So, you know, I remember like this girl saying to me, I've been dating the same boy for 20 years. Except it just showed up in different people.
Right.
Because we've all done that, right?
Yeah, usually at the same time. Oh, this is another version. You know, he's got the bits that I like here, and he's got the bits that I like there. So I'll have both of them. Thank you.
Yeah, so, and do you know, when you're saying that, it's making me think about, you know, it's just such a gift in my world right now. It's like my two nephews, and it's like the one that is one. It's just, you know, I absolutely love when you give him something that he's never seen before, because he truly kind of like, he really looks at it, he has no idea. Well, and it's like when the first thing he does is check it out, can I put this in my mouth? It's like, and I touch it and I pick it up and I drop it to see what happens, and it's just, sometimes I look at him and I think, wow, what if we could even live our lives like that, even for 10 seconds? It's like, what might that create to be able to see the space of that?
See, this kind of takes you back to our show that we did about curiosity. You know, for me, it's like, how curious are you willing to be about what you would like to create for your life? So again, you know, yes, after they say kids can use their imagination, but that's because in some ways kids don't have experience to back up there. So if you watch kids with Lego, they will just build anything, and they go, well, what's that? And they go, well, it's quite obvious that it's this kind of super duper, you know, blah, 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 whatever it is. And like, you look at it and going, and they totally get that. But we look at it and go, well, that's not possible because it can't possibly do that. So like, my mum once said to me, I was flying my car here. She goes, cars can't fly, they're too heavy, they don't have wings, they don't have this, and all of these limitations around, and I'm going, yeah, but it's magic. You know, and for me it was just absolutely matter of fact, my car can do that because it's magic. And I don't need to know how that works because it's magic.
And you know, it's so funny you're saying that, and I'm like thinking, coming back to like the New Year's resolutions, I'm thinking, so what do you think? So main categories around resolutions that people probably make. Lose weight. Stop smoking.
Yeah.
Give up something.
Yeah.
And actually, I wonder, and it's like, it's curious because actually all of these are from a space of judgment. They're about what people don't want. They're not about what people desire to create.
Absolutely. And if you look at the losing weight one, it's because they're uncomfortable with what has been and what currently is, because they've been told, or they've bought into the belief that their body is the wrong shape, the wrong size, da 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 da. Therefore, it's not about what can I create. So for me, it's like, I'm not saying you should not lose weight. That is not what I'm saying.
No.
But for me, it's like, what would it take for me to have more ease and joy with my body? It's not even about weight, because it's like, fuck that shit. My body is the shape it is, and if it wants to change shape, then it will. You know, because I will. You know, what would it take to have more communion with my body so that I can communicate better with it? Well, I can understand what my sorry, go.
No, well, it's just funny because I'm actually thinking there's like a bit of hilarity, because it's like, you know, in December there's all these adverts for like turkeys and pies and cakes and trifles and wine and beer and blah blah blah, and it's like, and everybody goes to the supermarket. Not everybody, that's not true. Lots of people go to the supermarket and buy like food that's going to be not available after the 24th of December, and then it's like a week later, it's like, it's all kind of like, hey, join the Slimming Club, join the gym. It's just like
absolutely.
And it's almost like, just like, yeah, it's almost like we're in our very own version of the Matrix, where it's like, you know, it's like, wake up. It's like, you know, yeah, where are we buying into other people's realities?
Yeah, we're allowing something else, corporations or whatever it is, to dictate what we can choose and what we have available to us. And I'm not saying, you know, don't eat cake and don't eat turkey and all that kind of stuff. It's like, but what if, is that what your body requires? Is that what your body requires? It's like, what would your body choose? If you had none of the information that anybody had ever given you about what size your body should be or how much you should eat, what would your body actually choose?
I'm going to tell you a really funny story quickly just before we go to break. And I have a very lovely friend, and I was having lunch with her last week, and she was telling me that her and her husband had been kind of like, they had been at his family's over Christmas, and she said, you know, and she's got really brilliant communion with her body. It's an area of real ease for her. And she was like, you know, it's like they put all this food on the table on Christmas Day, and everybody had their plate piled up really high, and she really, you know, didn't. She was like, I just took what my body told me it wanted, which wasn't so very much. And she's like, and then everybody like lay about and going, oh, I feel so full. And then like an hour passed, and it's like, and somebody came out with like the chocolates, and it's like, and everybody was taking handfuls of chocolate, and then it's like, you know, so on. It's like her husband's going, I really need to lose weight, and she's looking at him going, it's like,
yeah.
And it's just where we live in these like contradictory realities, where she was just going, she said she didn't see anything, but she was looking at him thinking, does your body really want a big handful of chocolate just after you've said that you're totally like nearly passed out because you've eaten so much food and you feel so uncomfortable? And I just thought, how many of us, I've so done that, but I'm like, how many of us kind of like do that? And then we're like, yeah, but I'm going to lose weight in the new year, so I'll eat an extra 20 pies.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to say that. So let's play with that more after the break. Definitely, yeah.
Awesome.
So
Were you told as a child to grow up, act your age, and stop being childish? And were you made to feel wrong for choosing to have fun? Is that still the same for you now that you're an adult? Have you ever wondered what your life would be like if you created it with more fun, more ease, and in the knowledge that far more choices and possibilities are always available to you? Tune in to the Playground of Possibilities radio show with Laura Borland and Alan Jones, who have fun playing with tools, techniques, and ideas that will inspire you to create more fun, more possibilities, and more magic in your life. Do you want to play? Listen for the Playground of Possibilities radio show every Monday at 3 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 7 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that, when run, assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is the Playground of Possibilities radio show with Laura Borland and Alan Jones. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255. In Canada, 613-800-8736. In the UK, 4433-0001-0625. Or Skype us at A2Zen.fm. You can also email us questions or comments by sending emails to playgroundofpossibilities@gmail.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello and welcome back to Playground of Possibilities with myself, delicious Alan, and my gorgeous and delicious also co-host Laura Borland.
So I never tire of you saying that. Every time you say that, it just makes me giggle.
Because it's like, for me, that's utterly true. You are gorgeous.
Bless you.
In so many ways. So that whole thing around, kind of eating too much, it was really funny because over Christmas itself, it was great. I ate exactly what my body wanted. I wasn't bloated. We had our Christmas dinner. For the way Bill and I do Christmas dinner is, the turkey goes in and dinner's ready whenever the turkey's ready. So we don't do that whole thing around, it has to be ready for 1 o'clock kind of thing. So we ended up in Christmas dinner about 7:30, I think, which was just awesome. And I had, a plate of food, ate exactly what was on the plate. My body wanted what was on the plate. That was fine. And, years ago, I'd have gone back for seconds.
Yeah.
And, and we didn't have Christmas pudding afterwards because, no, okay, and we only buy really small ones as we realised afterwards that actually my body doesn't want, half a Christmas pudding because it's just too big. But what happened?
I think it's got cement in it.
Yeah. What? Yeah, I think that's true. But, we went to friends for New Year and we didn't drink too much. That was great. I was great. I was awesome at listening to my body and what it wanted to drink. When it came to the food, I just totally snacked all night. It was really interesting. And I ended up coming home feeling so bloated and uncomfortable. I felt really ill. I thought, my God, what am I doing?
But here's the thing. It's like, so what if we can get to a space where we're like, oh, okay, interesting choice.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like, sometimes it's like when I choose what, I was going to say when I choose what I don't desire, but in the moment I obviously did choose it. But when it, almost like the awareness I get is actually that doesn't really work for me so well. It's like, I don't know about you, but there's certainly a real shift where I'm kind of like, okay, well, interesting choice, and what do I choose now?
Yeah.
Whereas so many people beat themselves up and then go, that's it, I'm never going to eat chocolate crisps, whatever it is for you.
Yeah. But, that whole thing around the whole, it's like, with the whole Christmas thing, And it's like, well, fuck it, I've eaten it now. I may as well continue to eat crap because I'm going to lose weight in New Year. That's where I used to be. That's where I used to be. I used to get so caught up in that whole thing around, oh, well, it doesn't matter now because I'll just resolve to lose weight in the New Year.
Isn't it funny in how that thing where it's like, so even if we get up, so where else in our lives do we make a choice that doesn't really work for us, but we keep making the same choice over and over and over again, never realising that actually if we could just get out of it, because it's almost like whether we have the day off, the week off, the month off, the year off, whatever it is we do. But it's just like, even if you get out, it's like there was a day in December where I pretty much just ate chocolate the whole day, and do you know what? It was just so yummy. And I was standing waiting to cross the road, and I started giggling to myself because I thought, you know what? Doesn't mean I'm going to eat chocolate every day. It just meant that I ate chocolate today. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the past, I would be like, oh no, that means whatever it meant for me. And it's just that way where it's just like to have that level of ease. It's just like we really get to choose again and again and again and again.
Yeah, we don't have to wait for another year hang on a second, I'm going to cough. Oh, hang on, let me stick myself on mute. Keep talking.
Oh, bless. Yeah, we don't have to wait for a new year to be able to begin to choose again, because I think it's that thing where we truly can choose in every 10 seconds. It's just that sometimes we're so much in autopilot that we don't really even consider that we can choose. So we believe that we have no choice. And I don't know about you, Alan, but the first time someone said that to me, I was like, what do you mean you can choose? It's like, or not choosing was a choice. Yeah. It was just, that was a real anathema for me. So, yeah.
It is, and and what happens if you do your, so let's say you do your New Year's resolutions. I resolve to do this, this, and this. What happens then when you've lost the weight, you've given up smoking, and you've given up the other bad habit? Let's say you do this within 4 months. What do you do for the rest of the 8 months of the year? What happens then? Because you've got to wait 8 months before you can resolve to do anything else.
But isn't that funny? Because actually, and I don't know about for you, but certainly for me, it's like, it's like it's taken me. I mean, I had no idea in my 20s or even most of my 30s that I was creating my life. That really didn't occur to me. So like what you're saying is, it's like, you just did life. You didn't. For me, I just did life. I really didn't think about what I wanted to create. And and even I've been working with some people recently, and I've just been saying to them, what do you really desire to create as your life? And they've really looked at me and said, I don't know if I even understand that question. I've really never thought about that. Which is, wow.
It is amazing, because we're not taught that, because life just is, and you just have to deal with whatever comes up. We're always living at the effect of life rather than being the effector of life, if that makes sense. We create the life, we're not, or we can choose to live at the effect of it. That's just a choice. And and for me, it's just like, and what if you choose to, I don't know, it's just like, how many resolutions do we make that seem pertinent at the time, that in a month's time after that actually don't make sense anymore because things have changed?
Yeah, because again, it's that whole thing where I made one choice, and so therefore I have to carry it through. And it's funny. I saw somebody had posted something on Facebook. I don't know, yesterday, I forget. And it just really made me laugh out loud. She was basically like, my New Year's resolution is to give up smoking. Blah, 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 blah. All this stuff about giving up smoking. And then at the end of the post it said, P.S. I love smoking.
Yeah, that's going to happen, isn't it? It's like...
So, that for me is the insanity of New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, what is that about? That is just the total insanity about it.
Oh, I believe I should. That's about what we should do rather than actually what we would really choose to do.
And so let's back to the whole weight thing. If you had no judgment of your body at all, no point of view about your body, what would you choose? And if you had no point of view at all about your money situation, what would you choose?
And it's funny because for me, more and more, it's about ease. It's about, because actually, if you're creating from a space of ease, because I've really created from a space of lack and fear, And I guess, in years to come, it's like I'll look back and I'll always be expanding, so I'll always see more possibilities and more choice. I took myself into a beyond there.
So what's going on there for you?
Well, then, because all of a sudden I was like, oh, and I wonder what that'll look like. Because it's like that thing where how often do we believe we have to know what something looks like before we're going to choose it?
Again, it's creating from the past, isn't it? So, how much? So what would you choose if you had no idea what it would look like or how it would show up? Would you even choose it? Are you willing to choose it? And every way you're unwilling to do that, do you want to let that go, or do you want to hang on to it?
No, let's let that go.
So you choose to let go of that, and what else is possible? What else is possible beyond needing to know what something needs to look like, sound like, feel like? Because that's the thing with creative visualization, isn't it? They teach you, you get really into it, know what it will look like, sound like, feel like, taste like, and all of that stuff. And then, no wonder when these things turn up, you just kind of think, that's like going to come home to someone saying, I'm cooking you a special meal, and you're going to love it. And so you visualize what this meal is going to be, and you get home and it's not what you think.
And that's really funny that you're saying that, because I've been asking some questions, and it's like, and I think questions are magic makers, really. And I've been asking some questions, and what then had become really funny was because for me, it took the universe to hit me over the head with something about 10 times before I was like, maybe it's that. And then I started laughing because, of course, I had the flashback to all the other times it showed up in my world, but I had not acknowledged it. And of course, it's just like, because, and so a question I have actually been asking myself is just, so what else is here that I can't see?
Yeah, what else is there that you've not acknowledged?
Yeah. Because there's always more, and I think that, so that thing around, and again, it's like coming back to the New Year's resolutions, it's like so often they're from a space of kind of like judgment and resistance. So it's about, because there's that way where it's like people are like, you have to be in allowing something before it can change.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, how many years did it take you to be able to have even an inkling of what that meant?
Well, and the other thing is, no, I totally get that. But it's like you have to be present with what is in order for it to change. It's like, okay, well, I'm present with it now, and I want it to change. But there's still judgment there.
Exactly.
That's not allowance. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's the thing where, so again, these resolutions look to create from a space of judgment, not from a space of kind of like lightness and possibility and joy.
They totally are, because what I wrote down here as we were talking about was resolution. Quite often, all kind of aims, goals, targets, resolutions, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever you choose to call them, however you choose to create and generate your life, it's like, how much do we do them from a space of fixing things? I have a goal of losing weight. Well, I have a target of losing weight. I have an aim of losing weight. But what's underlying it?
And that's so true. It's just like, but again, it's like all kind of like messages that we are kind of like, that we're given, and it's certainly kind of like in coaching work I've been doing with people recently, I've just been saying to people over and over again, there's nothing wrong with you, you don't need fixed.
Yeah.
And you can see people looking at you and they're like, yeah, that's really crazy. That's a crazy thing you're saying, Laura. And actually I'm like, wow. And even it's like, I don't know if we talked about this before in the show, there's been an awareness, like, for me, that even at points where I thought I was choosing, I actually then thought, oh wow, the awareness I got that was I was still trying to fix myself.
Yeah. Fixing or choosing, which is it?
Fixing or choosing. Let's pick up on that when we come back from the break and just kind of like explore that a bit more. And I might have to tell me one of your craziest New Year's resolutions just for the fun of it.
Okay, I think we can do that.
Yeah, so stay with us, guys, and we'll be back right after the break.
Were you told as a child to grow up, act your age, and stop being childish? And were you made to feel wrong for choosing to have fun? Is that still the same for you now that you're an adult? Have you ever wondered what your life would be like if you created it with more fun, more ease, and in the knowledge that far more choices and possibilities are always available to you? Tune in to the Playground of Possibilities radio show with Laura Borland and Alan Jones, who have fun playing with tools, techniques, and ideas that will inspire you to create more fun, more possibilities, and more magic in your life. Do you want to play? Listen for the Playground of Possibilities radio show every Monday at 3 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 7 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bar session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is the Playground of Possibilities radio show with Laura Borland and Alan Jones. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255. In Canada, 613-800-8736. In the UK, 4433-0001-0625. Or Skype us at A2Zen.fm. You can also email us questions or comments by sending emails to playgroundofpossibilities@gmail.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello and welcome back to the Playground of Possibilities with my lovely playmate Alan Jones and myself. Hello. And you know, in the break, I was thinking about resolutions, and I was all thinking around kind of like people often make them really impossible. So, you know, like, and they're very kind of like polarized. So it's like it's not kind of about doing less than. It's about completely cutting things out or creating a kind of like it's, you know, like being like 25 stone and saying you want to like lose 15. And you know, actually, it made me wonder that actually do people then choose these impossible resolutions to prove to themselves that they are what they have decided they don't want to be?
Yeah, how often do we make resolutions to be what we think we should be that we never really wanted in the first place, because that's what other people told us that's what we should want, rather than, you know, and it's like, what, rather than asking a question and going, okay, what, because how often do we, yeah, it is, it's like, how often, what resolutions do I have or goals am I trying to set that, you know, that kind of will kind of help me fit in more. Because if I fit in better... I love... sorry, go.
Well, just thinking, like, Bree's playing with us, yay! It's like we totally sabotage ourselves with our resolutions, because what we do is it's like then they prove just much of a failure that we are, and they prove that we're kind of like useless or we can't change or it'll always be like this, and so almost kind of like then solidifies the kind of like the points of views that we have that are keeping us stuck where we say that we don't desire to be.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not just like that we're failures now, it's like everything we've ever chosen before is bad or wrong. I resolved to cut out chocolate, I resolved to go swimming more often, I resolved to be fitter, to be better control of my money, to, you know, to stop wasting money and stop playing games. It's like, well, is that adding more to your life, or is it fitting in? Is it sabotaging you? Is it just beating yourself up for previous choices, rather than starting the year with, actually, what else can I choose that will be fun for me?
Actually, even the word resolve, it's just like, it's a really hard word, and you know, think about kind of like the energy of resolve and the energy of play, because I've been talking to so many people about playing. What do you want to play at? And it's like, and it's interesting that still in our society there's, although I think more people are talking about it, there's still some really strong points of view that, you know, well, you're not going to create your life through play. Really?
No, and you know, and the whole word, look at the word resolve, if you actually split it out, it's resolve. How many problems are you resolving? Solving again and again and again. Because you didn't resolve them properly the first year. You didn't solve them last year. So, sorry, I'm playing with my contact lens as I talk to you. Anyway, let me pop that out.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
I thought you
None of you can see
were
it.
eating a sweet.
I've got a face for radio, and I'm sucking on a strepsil as well, so I don't cough. So yeah, it's like, how do we think about the words? It's like, how many resolutions do we use to solve problems, to sabotage ourselves? And so before you set up any kind of choice or target or aim, however you want to kind of play with your year, it's like, what would I like to create this year that would extend my life?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're not getting into any judgment at all. It's like, what else is possible?
Absolutely. And, again, it took me a long time to, people would be like, it's our minds that creates problems for us to solve.
Mm-hmm.
And that took me ages and ages to get, because I was like, yeah, but that's real. It's like, real, look, here's the evidence, I can prove it. And it's that thing where actually, and something that's really helped me is like this idea of kind of like, that actually we have thoughts all the time. It's like we're thinking all the time, and some of it's kind of really expansive thinking, and some of it's really insecure thinking, and some of it is actually potentially thinking that can't be trusted. And so it's like, that thing of like, if you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, hey, I'm really fat or ugly or whatever, it's just like, that's quite heavy. There's nothing expansive about that, as opposed to like, hey, wow, it's like, isn't it really amazing how I can actually have eyes to see a reflection in the mirror? Isn't it really amazing that somebody thought to make a mirror? And it's like, and to go into that space of wonder, and it's like, and actually security again in terms of like, hey, this thing that I have concluded is a problem, what if it wasn't a problem? What if it was just, like, this is really silly. I've got such a cute wee belly just now. And I've been looking at this belly quite a lot. And the other day I started chuckling to myself because I thought, I perfectly created that belly. Because I had all these points of view about my belly, and I'm like thinking, and I really was able to look at my belly and go, well done you, Laura, for creating a belly so perfectly, and what else is possible? But
absolutely,
I was laughing, and I thought, wow. Do you ever have like kind of like you'll catch yourself kind of like with a point of view and you'll be like, wow, that's just so different than how I used to look at that.
Yeah, I love that kind of space, and it is, for me, it is that, because we've got a mirror in our shower.
Wow.
I don't know if you noticed it when you actually came to stay, but on the wall at the other end of the bath, there's a small mirror that's kind of halfway up the wall. So you can't see your whole body, but you can kind of see face and chest. And so it's like standing in the shower the other week, and I was thinking, do you know what, I actually really like my chest. It's quite well defined. It's kind of, for me, it's like I just liked what I saw there. And then I looked down at my body, because I was in that space of non-judgment or non kind of negative judgment of my chest. It was just like, actually, I was appreciating my chest for what it was, for what it is, and I could look down the whole of my body and go, do you know what, I appreciate all of my body. Because if I had, and it, for me, it just comes back to, because how often do we use other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions to judge our own body? Because we are aware beings, and how much of other people's thoughts, feelings, emotions about their bodies are we picking up on? We are infinite beings. We are bigger, much bigger than the universe. How can you not be aware? So, without going into too much of the kind of the stuff around it, but one of the Access Consciousness tools, which was, who does that belong to, has been such a gift to me with my communion with my body, in terms of where my body is now compared to where it was when I was in my 20s. On my Facebook page, the picture that I have there is me standing in kind of swimming trunks on a beach in Spain. And I'm looking at that picture thinking, my God, I had a really nice body. And at the time, I thought I was fat. And it's like, wow. Or I thought I was fat. But of course, if I had no point... I know. And if I have no point of view about my body, what does my body want to look like?
And isn't that so funny? Because it's that whole thing around kind of like, so people lose weight, but they still think they're fat. And so actually, it's like eventually you have to recreate that fatness. Or whatever it is, disease with your body. It's so funny. It just, and the reason I'm laughing is because I remember, wow, it's like there was a point where I was like far too skinny for like just my frame, and I remember like even having days then when I was like, I'm too fat, and I was just like, and I remember at the time being like, okay, Laura, really? But it's just that thing around it's like the energy and not the kind of like, so we often what we do is we look at the kind of like the outside, and is that not such a brilliant example of like how our outside experience actually comes from our inside point of view?
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
how cute are we?
We don't look at actually what would I like my money, what would I, it's like we in order to create something we need to see what else is possible in order to choose what we choose. It's like, well, if you had no point of view at all and no history about what a nice bank account would look like, or what a good job would look like, or what a nice home would look like, or what your body would like to wear, if we didn't have any of those points of view, what would you choose?
And isn't that really interesting? Because how much information are we kind of like, and you were talking about like, okay, pick one, Laura. What I was going to say, what I was actually going to say about something that you had said earlier was the tool, who does it belong to? I actually have been really grateful for that over these holidays, because I'm not sure if this year I've just acknowledged how aware I am, or have acknowledged more of my awareness, but the energy has just been so funky. Like, even now it's funky, and it's just like to almost like, I know in the past I've gotten into kind of like making that about me, and it's like, and what's wrong, and I'm just now it's like, wow, so who does that belong to?
Yeah. Who does that belong? And I would, if rather than setting it as a resolution, just have a play with it. Play with who does that belong to for the next, say for the next 3 days, just as a choice for the next 3 days. Who does that belong to for every thought, feeling, emotion you have? Because if you, it's like, and see where you're at after 3 days.
Well, I'm laughing because I'm thinking, and for anybody who's listening to us who's made resolutions, because actually, you know what, resolutions are just a choice. And so it's not like they're right or wrong. I think, our interesting or maybe not so interesting point of view is just like they tend to come from judgment, and it's about what if you could create from a space of joy. Yeah. But even with your solutions, what if you were to say, hey, interesting point of view, I have that point of view, interesting point of view, I have that point of view, and just see what showed up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true actually, because I guess I have been kind of bashing resolutions themselves, which is, and where am I resisting and reacting resolutions? Where am I resisting and reacting to that? It's like, oh my God, and I just kind of create polarity and make it even more real.
You know what, and I guess it's that thing where it's like, in the space where I wasn't choosing, I would still do kind of, I'd be doing New Year's resolutions, and so maybe that was just kind of like, so what will it take for us to be just totally in allowance? It's all just a choice. It's just that, what if there could be more fun choosing? Yeah. And what if it could be from a place of expansive and playfulness and joy and fun, as opposed to, oh God, there's something wrong with me and I need to fix myself.
Absolutely. So, let's kind of everything that we've said today is just, it really has, for me, has been, I've been trying to kind of get it from a different possibility of, what if we don't make it all so meaningful and significant? And if resolutions work for you, just, great, go ahead and do it. Just keep doing it. All I'm saying is be aware that how often we use them to fix ourselves, to set ourselves targets to fit in, rather than actually what would be fun for me? What would expand my life? What would be fun? What would expand my life? What would contribute to me in my life? What can I choose to contribute more to the world, that plays to what I love doing, that I'm good at? Do it from that perspective, whether you call them targets, goals, resolutions, whatever. Maybe that's what we're getting to. It's like, choose it from the space of joy rather than a place of fixing or need to.
Imagine a world. Just before we go to break, imagine a world where we all did that. It just, honestly, I just think that people would be like skipping out their houses in the morning. Because it'd be like, hey, what am I going to create today, rather than, hey, life sucks and you just have to get through it, and it's like I'm counting off the days to my retirement, and it's 6 weeks to my holiday, and it's like, it's like, oh.
Awesome. Let's pick that up after the break and have a bit more of a play about what else is possible with creating your life. So see you in about a minute or two.
Were you told as a child to grow up, act your age, and stop being childish? And were you made to feel wrong for choosing to have fun? Is that still the same for you now that you're an adult? Have you ever wondered what your life would be like if you created it with more fun, more ease, and in the knowledge that far more choices and possibilities are always available to you? Tune in to the Playground of Possibilities radio show with Laura Borland and Alan Jones, who have fun playing with tools, techniques, and ideas that will inspire you to create more fun, more possibilities, and more magic in your life. Do you want to play? Listen for the Playground of Possibilities radio show every Monday at 3 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 7 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that, when run, assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is the Playground of Possibilities radio show with Laura Borland and Alan Jones. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255. In Canada, 613-800-8736. In the UK, 4433-0001-0625. Or Skype us at A2Zen.fm. You can also email us questions or comments by sending emails to playgroundofpossibilities@gmail.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, welcome back to Playground of Possibilities with myself,
Laura
Borland. I was about to say I'm Laura Borland. So there you go. You
can be me and I could be you. Does that mean I have to speak in a deeper voice?
I don't know. Am I deeper than you? I am the gorgeous co-host Laura Borland. No, I'm Alan Jones, and I'm here with my gorgeous co-host Laura Borland because I'm the lovely playmate.
You are.
I am. So anyway, where were we? So yeah, it's like, so what are you going to choose now? So regardless of anything we've talked about today, if you haven't listened to the show at all, if you were creating your life from joy and expansion and contribution, what would you choose?
Oh, can you feel the energy of that?
Yeah. It's just like, what if that's why you're...
What if we could bottle that and sell it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would, it's like, and how much would you charge for that? Fucking loads. But
and it's funny though, because in all seriousness, it's like so many times I have conversations with people around coaching, and it's like, and actually their lives don't have that energy, and and to even begin to see that so often again we make it impossible for ourselves because we want to go from the polarized thing, we want to go from one to the other, just by allowing it to kind of be, and to allow it to change how it wants to change without having any point of view. It's like, and actually, even if you could create kind of like that little bit of kind of like 10 seconds of that, or like 10 minutes of that a day, and keep growing that, because it's like, I don't know for you, but for me, just like actually, it's almost like, hey, am I going in the direction I want to be going in, as opposed to I'm not where I want to be.
It's like, where am I choosing to go right now? And does it still make sense? So I set off my boat from where I'm at on the shore. I set off my boat. I think, right, I'm gonna go to France, and I kind of get halfway there and think, actually, do you know what, I'm getting an awareness that this isn't kind of quite right for me now, so I'm going to just change that slightly, and I'm going to go to Holland instead. Because that, it's like, and I'm still kind of going in that similar direction, so I can change direction. And then, that's how I get to the Netherlands, and I go there and I have wonderful coffee and chocolate and see all the tulips. No generalizations there, of course. And buy some lovely cheese and get some clogs and all of that is like, and what else?
Some clogs. I love clogs.
Me too. I must be getting old. And it's like, and so, and from, and it's like, and from Holland, it's like, where would I like to go next? Yeah. I'm not just, I don't have to get back in my boat. I could get a train to somewhere else in Holland, or I could, I could get on a bike, or I could get a train to another country, or fly to another country, or, the possibilities. I could get on a ferry and go to Sweden or something. It's like,
totally.
We don't have to, whatever we're choosing, however we're choosing to create our life. Again, it comes back to the kind of the access consciousness thing around choosing in 10-second increments.
Absolutely.
And Esther and Jerry, who talk about the law of attraction, they talk about segment intending.
Yeah.
And it's a similar. Yeah, it's a similar kind of process. Like, in this kind of 10 seconds, or in this segment of time, whatever I've chosen that to be, what would I like to choose? What would be joyful, fun, expansive, and a contribution?
And doesn't that just come from, even that is just like much more of a space of ease than fighting with where we are, trying to be like, something that we're not in these 10 seconds, and just actually, like allowing it to kind of like happen with ease. Ease. What would it take for more ease?
Because that's it. It's like, what would give me more ease with creating my life? And it's funny that I should say that, actually, because we're talking about that next week.
We are.
Isn't that a great leading? So next week.
Yeah. Have we come up with the name of the show then?
So I think we should go with the one that... So we were playing around with lots of titles for next week. And so I reckon we need to go with, Are You Sick and Tired of Creating Crap?
Yay!
So let's do that. Let's let go of creating crap and have fun in how we create our life. However we choose to do that. Sorry, go.
That'd be a really nice show, because actually then I believe the week after that we've got the lovely Glynis Hughes.
We do on the 19th, I think.
Yeah, and that's going to be in kind of like magic stuff. For so many years I was like, I'd really like to be a wizard.
Yeah.
I know, and it's like, and we all are. It's just that most of us haven't picked up our magic sticks.
We haven't picked up our magic sticks, and actually Bree's there with us. So yay! Let's just let's start the Wizards Club. Let's just do it. And of course, remember, if you do Access Bars at all, or of Access Bars, on Tuesday is Global Access Bars Day. So yay, Bree, bring your broomstick too, because we're
all going to be wizards. Yay!
We're all going to be wizards, but Tuesday is Global Bars Day, so there's a whole load of stuff going on. If you do a search on the internet or on Facebook, I'm sure you'll be able to find some stuff about it. But Global Access Bars Day is where a whole day of people are kind of gifting and receiving bars all day. So I think the phenomenal amount of change it's going to create in the world, and I'm looking forward to playing with you, Laura, because Laura's coming to me.
Fun.
And we're going to be sharing bars. So create your life.
Alan,
yeah.
Just before we leave, I have to ask you a really important question. So, what was your New Year's resolution?
What was my New Year's? Oh, my New Year's resolution, the most weird one.
Quickly, we've got 15 seconds.
Not to shag so much. So, on that note.
And on that wonderful note, I hope you have a wonderful week, guys, and we'll see you next week.